Colter, the weather has turned. It is gnarly out there. It's gnarly on the roads. But in Montana, that doesn't keep us home. We go everywhere we got to go. You and I always traveling for football. I'm going to be headed some other places for Christmas, all this kind of stuff. You know what gives me comfort? I know that I'm always about 11 feet from a town pump superstore. I mean, no matter where I am in the state of Montana, you got gasoline, you got all the refreshments you need. The kids got to have, a packet of gum, some chips, some water to keep them going, keep them satiated and satisfied in the back seat. And you know what other S word? Silent. Shut them up, those kids. You go to town pump and you got yourself some peace and calm in the van ride. I should pay them $1 million for what they've done for me.
I always hit up that town pump right when you get over Homestake Pass, right in Rocker there, because I always run out of the spray fluid for the windshield. And the semis are spraying on you. When it gets cold and icy and snowy like this, you got to have the right fluids in your car, and town pump's got that covered as well. And sometimes you need a beer for after the drive. So get yourself a six-pack, drink it when you get home, behave yourself. But it's a great place no matter what you need. Fuel, food, caffeine, water, anything.
And who knows, maybe you throw $1 in the machine, you walk away a winner too. I mean, you got all these different ways to recreate, stretch your legs on the highways.
No matter where you're at in Montana, there's a town pump near you. Town Pump, Montana's best since 1953.
All right, start with a quick opening statement, then I'll be happy to answer any questions. First of all, I want to congratulate North Dakota State University, Coach Entz. Awesome team, man. I mean, we did not have a lot of answers for some of their explosive players. Number one in particular had a tremendous night and was a major matchup problem for us, but I thought they did a nice job. I mean, I think they diversified their run game a little bit, leaned on their quarterback run game a little bit more early in the game, formationally had some really good things in their game plan, and so I want to tip my hat to them and obviously wish them the best of luck as they go down to Frisco and play for another championship. With all that being said, I'm tremendously proud of our team to take this next step and get into the semifinal round. And we've been here twice, and we don't have a great taste in our mouth. But I think, as I told these guys last night, success has a lot of tests, and one of them is failure. And so we've got to, continue to push forward. I know that the three seniors that are with me up here, they've been through a lot with me. We've been through a lot together. I'm so proud of them, and I know that they're going to go on and not allow a game to define who they are as men. That's what this is. Football is a game. And, one of the things we talk about in this program is never allowing a game to define us as men. And we're not going to allow setbacks to deter us from our future goals and our aspirations, whether it's what these young men go on to do with their lives or what we continue to do in pushing our football program forward. And so with that being said, I'm happy to take any questions.
You go back thinking about the three big plays or just get the whole game overall?
Well, I definitely think that obviously, we put a nice drive together and scored. And then in short order, the momentum changed again. And I definitely think that was a huge play in the game. The big plays are, they're devastating, but, they also ground some things out on us. I mean, I just think this was a better team. And we've got to own that. And we've got to go back and do what we did last year, is learn from this and try to add the right pieces to our roster and look at what we're doing schematically that can push us forward. We know where the bar is. It doesn't, we don't have to look far to find it. And so, but as I told these guys, I promise you we're going to get there. And so that's our goal, and we're not going to deviate from it.
Jeff, their quarterback can run, he can move, he can throw. What problems did he present for you?
He's a special talent. He really is. I mean, I think he's he's a tough tackle. It's not just that he can run. He's not just a swift guy. I mean, he's a powerful young man as well. And then even, the play late in the game where we lost the running back down the sideline after we had some pressure on him, exhibits his talent overall as an athlete to be able to, unhurl that ball all the way down and accurately enough that they could capitalize on it. And so he's definitely a special talent. And unfortunately, he's going to be a problem for a while in the Missouri Valley Conference. And if we want to, take that next step, we'll probably have to see him again.
Brayden, your coach alluded to it. What is the matchup problem with Watson? What problems did he cause you today?
I mean, he's just, he's a big receiver, and he's one of the fastest guys we've gone against this year. He's a really good player, and he's only a sophomore too, so he's got a bright future.
I'll follow it up with the quarterback. I mean, obviously the quarterback presented some problems as well.
Yeah, I mean, Trey, he's a really good player too. We knew that coming in. We knew they're gonna do that QB run game. Maybe not as much as they did, but I mean, if you can't stop that, then you're gonna have a long day. So,
Jeff, how do you think they were able to get Watson into those positions to make big plays?
Well, at some point in time, it's kind of pick your poison. It wasn't straight man. I mean, we've had some post safety help on a couple of those, but there's, if you're going to commit 2 guys to stop him, you look at this prolific offensive line that they have, and they've got 3 really talented running backs, and then you couple that with their quarterback run game, and so, Trey did a nice job of identifying when he had what he thought was man coverage, and that guy ran by us. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. I agree with what Brayden said. I mean, I think he's got next level speed, and we had a hard time containing him.
Getting to the national semifinals for the first time in 35 years, just what will you remember this group most for when you reflect back on this team and this group of seniors?
Resilience. That's the word that I would use. This has been an interesting journey over the last 4 years. We went through a stretch where we lost, in my first season, we lost 6 straight Big Sky Conference games. And to kind of rise from the ashes to a place where I think we deserve to be in consideration on the national stage, but we don't deserve to be in the national championship game yet. And so that big prize is still out in front of us. But I just think this is a tremendously resilient group of young men who I think really care about each other. And I think that was on display repeatedly throughout their careers and throughout this season.
Jeff Anderson warmed up. What was his status?
I think if there was an emergency, we could have used him. I know he really wanted to play today. He really wanted to play. But Troy just hasn't practiced a lot lately. And I just didn't want to put him out in a situation unless it was kind of a desperation situation for us where, he maybe wasn't quite 100% ready to go. And so I think it was important for him to put those pads on and warm up with his teammates and his brothers. But sometimes you got to be the adult and make sure that, you live to fight another day. And I think Troy will be one of the more dynamic players in the country a year from now.
Jeff, how different was game planning for North Dakota State versus the other teams you guys have played in the past?
I think it is very different. I wouldn't say it's as different as going into an option preparation, but just the diversity in their run game, their quarterback run game. A lot of the teams in the Big Sky stylistically are very similar. And so it's a lot of spread offenses, a lot of RPO game. And so what we do week in and week out defensively is kind of geared for that. And, one of the things that we actually did, we had some game plan things in specific to this, and they didn't work real well in the first half. And so we kind of talked about, let's just say, we're going to get back into this. It's not going to be by trying to do things that we're not accustomed to doing. And so it does present a lot of challenges. But, I said this earlier in the week, I think the combination of, the scheme with the talent, you don't want to underestimate the coaching. I mean, it's not just that they have great players. They do a tremendous job of running the scheme that they have on both sides, really all 3 phases. And then this environment is challenging as well. And so, I think that's a tough out. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they've been so successful here. And you've got to have a tremendous team to beat a team like this in this environment.
Did you try to replicate what Illinois State did defensively last week, or what did they do that you noticed?
Well, we had some elements of that. We had a what we call a blitz the formation that was up, but clearly they weren't going to get beat, or they weren't going to have a lack of success. They didn't get beat by Illinois State clearly, but they weren't going to let the same thing mess with them twice. And so that was one of the things that we kind of threw out at halftime.
Anything else for Coach?
What's your thoughts offensively? You made some explosive plays in the game. Can you talk about your offense? And you made some explosive plays in the game, but unfortunately for you, just not enough.
Yeah, I think when we were in rhythm on offense, it was pretty good. I think the way the game played out obviously plays a role in that, especially when you're a run-first team. And it kind of takes you out a little bit of rhythm at times. And so I was really proud of the way our guys kept competing. But obviously, number 91 is a really good player. And when he knows you're dropping back to pass, he's going to run by people. And then you got to have answers for him. Well, when you put answers in for him, then that means you're putting less guys out into the routes, and that kind of tightens the coverage. And so that's why we came back to some of our run game stuff. And I think that, I think we've definitely moved forward. Let me say that. I think we've moved forward in our ability to compete at this level. But we still got work to do.
NDSU's going down to Frisco for 8th time in 9 years. What, as an opposing
phenomenal
coach?
Yeah, I mean, that's phenomenal. It's hard to even wrap your head around that. I mean, just the level of success that this program has had. And I think it's a tribute to, their athletic administration, the continuity of the coaching staffs, the community of Fargo and the state of North Dakota. I mean, this isn't a one-man show. I mean, everybody in this state seems to have a great deal of pride in what they do here, and it's an impressive organization from top to bottom.
Let's turn over to questions from players.
Can you talk about the touchdown pass and how it developed?
Just a situation where we caught him in a man-to-man situation, and safety rolled down. And I had an inside fade, and Tucker put a really good ball out there for me to get. And I mean, kudos to the O-line holding up, and Tucker just allowing me to. I mean, all I had to do was stick my arms out there and walk in. So yeah, that's kind of what happened.
Kevin, what were some of the strides you saw from Tucker as this season progressed in his development as a quarterback?
Yeah, I'm going to hit on what Coach said, his resilience. He's taken a lot of, criticism and stuff, and I think a lot of guys would, turn away from that, but I think Tucker's embraced it, and you can just see, not even just from a passing standpoint, but just from his, control in the huddle, his leadership. I think guys respect that, and we're going to gravitate to that going forward. He's just like a kid that, he's going to do, he's going to work his butt off, and we're really proud of him. We're happy for the success that he has, and I hope he has a lot of success going forward.
What was kind of the attitude of the team after Travis's touchdown? You even it up there, and pretty close game there early on.
Yeah, I think we were, had our hopes high, and we thought we could, get some things going. I think we did. I think we did some good things today. Like you said, there were some explosive plays, and Isaiah runs hard. I don't think anyone in this room could deny that. Really happy. He had some dealing with some injuries early on this year, and the way he's been able to bounce back from that, and I mean the way he runs is super special, and even with Logan too. I mean, I could probably sit here for another hour and talk about these guys, but yeah, I think we got some explosive plays. It was exciting. I think we just didn't capitalize, and I don't think it was anything scheme-wise. It just came down to us players. So,
Derek, can you talk about just leaving Montana State better than you found it?
Yeah, it's been a fun 4 years, and I think the thing that's impacted me the most is the relationships and just the guys in the room, the guys that we've had on staff leading us, and just a great group of men leading us, a great group of guys around us, and we really bought into each other and wanted to keep taking the next step as a program, and I think we've done that each year that I've been here, and it's just going to continue. The standard continues to raise, and the standard for the off season, the standard for our culture, and guys fight for it every day, and we talk about just the fights that we have every day, and ignoring the outside noise, and just fighting to get better, and I think everyone's bought into that, so I think it's going to continue moving forward.
What do you expect from the program after next year, and you'll be watching games from the side? Just kind of what do you expect from this team moving forward?
Nothing but success, and they're gonna face adversity like every team does, but setbacks never defines this team and this university, and so I expect a lot of big things, and they expect big things of themselves, and I'm just excited to watch this next group of guys, and each team's unique, each team's different, each team's been different every time, or all 4 years that I've been here, and so I'm just excited to see how they come together next year and work together this offseason.
Anything else?